All right. Welcome back, everybody. So today I will be starting on fixing the sketch, and then get a more cleaner sketch in, so that we have a nice looking opening. So that's what I'm gonna be aiming for. So this is the balcony scene as described earlier in the first one. So this is the first one. And now we have this, so then that's all fine. But yeah, definitely need some fixing here and there, and that's what I'm aiming for. For instance, right here we have this, we have this, and we actually technically need to make sure that we have this in a line. So this all needs to be in a line to create the right texture. That's what I like. The right amount of. Um, do you see that? Perspective? Yeah, perspective. There you go. There you go. Like that. Yes. All right. So, no further ado, let's get it started. So first things first, we're gonna make this a little bit more blurrier, and we will start on fixing this bit right here. So if you pick up the original drawing, we have this little rock system, this little rocky moves, and that's what we're going to be drawing, because this is one of the side areas of the throne room. That's why it's called a balcony scene. So we're going to be trying to get that up and running properly. So first things first, we need to grab this, draw it way down, like that here. Draw this way down, like over there. And then get this like so. Of course, this is still a sketch, so no need to be worried about too much, but yeah, we want to make sure that we have everything in the right proportions so that we can then move on to the next bit. Alright, and that is the main issue right there. So yeah, I'm recovering from the flu quite good. I'm very happy upon that. I have been dealing with it for 2 days, and that is no fun at all. That is absolutely the joke of the day. Oop. It made me really lightheaded, and I really hate that when that happens. Because then you cannot focus on drawing properly. So yeah, that's why there is no second sketch yet drawn in or whatever that needs to be drawn in the first place. Now let's see. Yeah, that would work, right? Now it should be equal grounding, right? It is. Good. Now I'm gonna put this right there and see if that works. Because technically we need to now draw in these lines, we need to draw rocky textures. That's the idea. Alright, that would work. Now we need a second drawing so that we can draw on the lines instead of not doing that at all. All right, now we have that. We can now pull this off and we can see how we need to draw. All right, we have now the lines that we need, I believe, right? Or do we need sharper lines here? Like that, like so. Oh, it's not a right move. Come on. Wow, I'm not drawing straight. It's that bit, right? Yes. All right. So that's the lines that we need to try to take. Good. So if we now draw on this, we should be fine. So draw on these lines, and that is what we're going to be aiming for. And the idea, oh, I should definitely put also in the idea of these lines to be the size perspective. So we want this to be like that. Right there, and then this one needs to be like here. Yes. And that would fix a lot of issues right there, because we now have a grid system where we can draw. Sweet. So yeah, I have not been having any time to draw for this day, but I did make some good stew, so I'm very happy upon achieving that kind of reward, you know. I need to make sure that I'm making the right amount of size for this. So what this is all going to be about is like a grind. I don't know, grid? No, grind. Tiny little pebbles that are in our place in our road. Tiny little pebbles. These pebbles are designed to create a pattern after you lay them down, and that's exactly what I'm aiming for, because that's what the design of the first linear line was all about in the first place anyway. So we're gonna be drawing these things. And after that, we can also think like, all right, do we want these pebbles to be, you know, designed in such a way that they are like, is this size too big or too small? That's also a thing. Like, should I, instead of these lines, should I then technically not draw them on heavy lines, but on instead of like 360? Because technically that is a thing that we can do, and I think we will. So we're gonna keep it all tiny, and then, you know, this one is gonna be times 1.7, 1.5, 1. You get the point. So from tiny to bigger, bigger, bigger until we have the right amount. Well, and so that we can create this kind of, you know, uh, depth. Yeah, there you go. Depth is the right word I'm looking for anyway. So yeah, gonna be doing this, and then, you know, tomorrow I will be able to do this much more better, and I can finally aim on doing this so much more better that I'm very happy on working on it. Now we can see that that would work. Does it work? Oh, it works properly. It works like a charm. Good. And that means that this is actually successful. Great. Now we actually need to continue on working on these things and then, fill them up. And once we fill them up, we have then the right sketch or the right idea of what we are aiming for in the first place, and then move onwards towards the final product of it, which is a nice looking drawing. And we will probably do this again, so we will probably redraw it again on the same terms, on the same lengths, but it's important that we are doing it right now in this way so that we don't screw ourselves over once we add in more stuff. There we go. And we can reuse this if we need to, but we don't need to yet. And yeah, once this is all done, we can then, add in here some stuff here and there. But first, we need to make sure that we have a good vision upon how this is going to be turning out. And, that's the fun part. Because this is a different layer, I don't have to be dealing with the rest of it. And it causes me to be less of a concern if I make any mistakes, because I only need to make mistakes on the rocks, and the rocks are quite easily. They're just tiny little pebbles that I need to draw everywhere, and then, make a pebble road. That might be the word for it, right? Pebble road. Just a road made of pebbles. And yes, that pebble road will eventually, be caught in and all that stuff. That is true, but it does create the feeling of what I wanted to make with it anyway. Because as you can see with the texture on the first one, you can see right there. It's indeed a pebble road. It's a pebble road that lays up and down, goes around, whatever it does. And right now, we are working on getting that pebble road drawn in. So right now, we are actually working on this size right here. We have the thing right there. And that is exactly what we're aiming for. So a pebble road it is. And this pebble road can, shimmer and all that stuff. There is no need for it to worry there, but the main difficulty here is getting that up and running. It is necessary for me to make sure that the pebble road does look like a pebble road. If it doesn't look like a pebble road, it is actually a very terrible way of doing things. And that's the fun part. Once we get used to how to create pebble roads, we will be able to do the thing properly. All right. All right, cool. Now that we have done that, we can now continue. There we go. Now, what we can do now is actually quite easily, we can just turn it around a bit and then, can move onwards. So yeah, it's a very nice thing to do this. I'm very happy upon what we are achieving right now. It gives us a far more better insight upon how we're gonna do this and where we need to go. So the first thing I want to do is create the bottom part. So I'm gonna be first drawing the bottom bits. Here, this, that, this, and then once that is done, I will start moving towards the pillars, the light, and all that stuff, and then I'm gonna be creating the character and moving upwards. Because it's very important to maintain the structure within the drawing. So, no, well, within the drawing, I mean, keeping the structure when you're trying to do something like mapping your image. You need to make sure that you have the structure as well. Like, all right, what do I want to achieve here? What do I want to create? How do I gonna be approaching it? And what needs to be going first? And I think that first working on the bottom side of the drawing and then move upwards creates a far more better view upon how you need to place the pillars, where you need to place the pillars, and it will give a quicker image upon if it is rightfully placed or wrongfully placed, whatever. Yeah, so yeah, it is. It's nice to do at least, definitely for sure. It's also not the hardest part, and that is also important because there's not a lot of things going on. It's just creating pebbles, just only pebbles, and yeah, those pebbles can different. Those pebbles can differentiate between sizes, how big they are, how small they are. And the only thing we need to do now is just make those pebbles, get those pebbles to one place and then another place, and then move onwards again. Of course, not every pebble is the same, not every pebble is correct, and yeah. So yeah, I very like these pebbles. It's very easy to draw, very nice to draw. The only downside of the pebbles is that sometimes, they can overlap with each other, which can cause some issues here and there, but it should not be that much of a problem. The main issue right now is that we need to get all of these pebbles in one area, cramp them up, and then once we get to the second part, we then can genuinely create a far nicer pattern of pebbles, or bigger pebbles, more details upon the pebbles, all that stuff. All right. There we go. Here we go. Right, now we need to move to the other side, so that's gonna be this one, and then once that is done, we can then, move to the next one. It's very important to keep proportions correct, keep the angles correct, the perspective correct. It's all things that you need to all you need to remember when you're drawing a goddamn scene. That is very lots of words. And sometimes, you forget stuff. Like I did forget the perspective in the first one. I did draw the perspective of the photo, but that doesn't mean that the perspective is correct. It's not yet fully correct, and therefore, it has some issues. Right now, I'm working on getting that fixed, and that is what we're doing right now. We're creating a texture so that we can see, like, all right, if we create this pebble, if we're gonna create this pebble structure, how does it look? Where does it go? How does it feel? And eventually, we will see if it turns out properly. And I think it will be probably looking good because, well, it's a structure of pebbles, and we do need to have the structure of pebbles because otherwise, I will have this whole scene that isn't connected with the other drawing. That is the main problem. Then it will be disconnected from the other drawing, and then that can cause also lots of issues, which I don't like. So yeah, a lot of issues that we don't want to have and lots of issues that we don't want to see. And by fixing that is one of the things gone. One of the major issues gone, let's put it that way. So yeah, working on that is one of the things. And yeah, eventually, we will figure out how to do it, how to fix it, where to fix it, and how to look for it next time we do it again. This is what I always like about these scenes. And the good thing about this is that the scenes are not going to be taking quite a long time. So yeah. Ooh, I might did an oopsie doopsie, didn't I? Yeah, I did draw them too big. Oh, I did draw them too thick. Ugh. So that's a problem. Well, 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 well. This is a problem right here. If you look at this, for instance, here, not the right color. This is a far more better color here. If you look at this right here, you can see that the problem here is that the lines are very thick upon each other, which can cause major issues in drawing the pebbles. Also, it gives a very thick line. It gives a very obvious thing that I drew a texture, which we don't want. We want to actually have a very soft drawing like this. We want to have soft drawings, not thick, annoying, tiny little. Like we don't want these lines to appear. So, this is also why we need to do a redrawing of it anyway, because well, it's the thick line. But first, let's continue with this, and then let's see if we can fix it by redrawing it, and then see how that turns. I think that would be a far better look on it, isn't it? Yes, but I drew it in the wrong direction. God damn it. Alright, well, I found a solution towards this, but it doesn't mean I need to do a lot of Oh god, why is it red? Why is it red? Alright. I need to do a lot of redrawing on this, but yeah, I got the texture now. This is a good texture. I like this. So it's soft drawing, no pressure in the poles, just softly drawing it. Then once that is all finished up, we can then move towards this point right there. We can create tiny little gaps sometimes, and then move on to the next bit. Like that, yes. Alright. So that would be the right move. Good. Good to know. Good to know. Now we need to make sure that we do it on both ways. So we need to go sideways, the left way around, and the right way around. Just like that. Alright, that creates so much more. That creates such a better pattern than the bot and then the this. All right, good, good. We found the right pattern here. That is also a very good discovery, and a very good idea to go where we need to go at anyway. So yeah, it's gonna be like that. Not too much of the roundabout, but it's a lot of thinking, seeing where to go, all that stuff. Now we can see. Is this better? It is better. It's not fully perfect, but it is much better than this one right there and this one right there. So yeah, we know now how to do it properly. Whew. So we now have this. So now we need to cancel this one so we can see what we are aiming for. So if we now show this, how does this look? Which one feels the most like, a drawing that could work? Oh well, a pattern that works. Because all the patterns definitely work. It's all possible, it's all nice and drawn in, so yeah, it should all work. That's for sure. It does. I think this one right here is actually the best one to go for. And then, you know, move onwards. But the only downside of that one is actually that it's a bit too dark. Hmm. This one is too light in bits, so we need to make sure that that is actually also fixed. So, now let's try it again, and this time we're gonna do it the right way. This time we're gonna focus on not drawing it too dark, but also not too light. That's always the idea. So if we now do it like this, would that fix it? Probably does, because then I'm more aware of what and how we're gonna do it. Yes. So that would actually work, because now I can see, now I don't be able to do the pressure again, and I won't be able to do that. I won't be able. I have no choice than, you know, to continue on this lovely little issue right now. It also provides a lot more detail towards the rocks, indefinitely. Alright. Oh, okay. I got this. Because I cannot use I cannot zoom in, because then it will be, you know, it won't represent the zoom out version. But also it prevents me from using the hard brush too much. Who have been used a little bit too much, which I don't prefer. So let me double check here. 141 zoom, alright. And that is the accurate placement. Let's see. Already 40 minutes in. Alright, once this place is done, once this little bit is done, I will call it a day, just to make sure that I'm recovering perfectly, and making sure that my head is not fully stacked out. So once this is done, I will call it a day, check, and then after that, you know, tomorrow I will try to do my very best to get it at least halfway done. hopefully I will be able to do it. That's for sure. All right. So yeah, little rocks everywhere. Little rocks everywhere. Because that's how the carpet looks like, and that's how the carpet is gonna be looking like. So if I don't do it, who would do it? I have no idea. You can see that the patterns are different than before, so yeah. It does make it look like, it does make it look nice. Okay. Okay. Now that is good. Now that is good. Now I'm satisfied. Ah, jeez Louise, that took a lot of energy. All right. This is where I'm gonna be ending it for today. I know it might not look like much, but trust me, this is some high quality stuff right there. But yeah, tomorrow I will try to do my very best to get it all fixed after that. So, oh, well, I will get it all fixed afterwards. So I will try to get the whole thing drawn in so that we can move on to the next part. But I don't know. It depends on how sniffy my nose is. But yeah, I'm happy that I'm getting recovering. But it was no fun at all because unable to be drawing properly is a pain. But yeah, I think I will leave it here right now today, and tomorrow I'll see you all tomorrow. Until then, I hope until then, I want to wish you all a lovely day, and bye.